Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys back in today's video with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and today we are looking at Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. So glad to see The Phantom Menace finally getting some love in this line. Oh man, and kicking things off this year for its 25th anniversary, we have Anakin, and this is insane. This is only the 5th Anakin figure that we've gotten in the main line. Scratch that, there's only been 2 in the main line. The other 2 were exclusives, and yeah, this is just an essential to have for your Phantom Menace display. Here's that side art right there with Tatooine in the background and a young Jake Lloyd right there. Quick side note before I go any further, this figure could not come at a more perfect time, with news of Jake Lloyd's mental health being much improved compared to previous years. I'm so glad to hear it, that he's doing much better now. But yeah, going back, here we have the back of the box. Discovered as a young boy on Tatooine by Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker had the potential to become one of the most powerful Jedi ever. And he would have too if it wasn't for... yeah. But without further ado, let's crack this thing open. And here we have Anakin out of the packaging. Really loving this figure. Not so much for like posability, the articulation, the sculpt, and the paint apps, just purely for the fact that it's a Phantom Menace figure, and we hardly get those anymore. Phantom Menace for the longest time was considered one of the worst Star Wars movies ever made. Attack of the Clones was the same way. I think Revenge of the Sith fared a bit better at the time of its release, but in the beginning, Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace had it really hard, which is why you hardly see merchandise for it nowadays. Yeah, just so glad to have this figure finally, and the sculpt does not disappoint as always. The paint apps as well, like Black Series, is on top of their game when it comes to sculpt. Sometimes the sculpt it hinders the articulation, and we'll figure out later if that's the case here. But going up, yeah, a little young Jedi look, kind of. Well, actually, no, not really. It's like a farm boy look. Yeah, it kind of looks like his own son, Luke, from episode 4. I never drew that comparison. That's actually pretty neat. But yeah, you get like the sculpted wrinkles in the pants, those wraps around his shins right there, and his shoes too. I kind of would have liked a like sand effect on these, but I can do without it. That'd be like an easy fix for me. And yeah, the belt right here has some pouches on it. You know how much I love pouches, and yeah, he has 2 of them on there. And the belt, it's okay, so you can move it around if you like, because it is a separate piece. Yeah, ooh, diaphragm joint right there. That's neat. Yeah, more wrinkles going down on that, and you can see like little individual lines in the sculpt. It's just so... the detail is immaculate here. And the same goes down for the sleeves of his little robe right there. Very nicely detailed. And I'm even like picking up a little bit of paint apps too. Yeah, I feel like there's like tiny bits of gray just lightly covering some of the wrinkles on the figure. You can see it right there. I don't know if it's just my lighting or what, but I feel like there is a tiny bit of paint apps all throughout. If it is, good on you, Hasbro. Good job. If not, again, good job for making it appear that way, Hasbro. Yeah, he has this little, I think it's a necklace down there, or maybe it's just his shirt. That's painted on. Kind of looks weird. I'm not going to lie. And unlike my Marvel Legends reviews where I have to pause and then wait until the accessories bit to go over the head sculpt, here instead, I could just go over it immediately. Yeah, here we have that head sculpt, and dude, the hair looks so great, and I love all the washing done to it. There's brown underneath, but the top is blonde. I've always thought it was weird how his hair color just changes. Does that actually happen to people? Does it? Google? All right, I'm glad to know that. Now for the likeness, it's not perfect. It's definitely there though. I could tell like this is a young Anakin, and yeah, just the detail with the digital face printing. You can see freckles on his face. It looks great, and his lips being a different color from the rest of the plastic looks fantastic as well. The eyes are kind of what throws it off a bit for me, but like from other angles, ooh, from this angle that doesn't even look like him, but like, yeah, I could still tell that it's Anakin. For accessories, Anakin comes with a backpack. This is the same one I think he's wearing when Darth Maul almost commits vehicular manslaughter. That scene was so funny because he had no reason to run over this child, but he still went for it anyways. Yeah, this is nicely sculpted, and this only paint apps right here across this canister right there. Yeah, I like it. I think I'll have him posed on the shelf with it on, just purely because like this is the only thing he comes with. Sadly, I would have loved for him to have that helmet that he does during the end sequence. Maybe an alternate head with his Jedi cut, but I'm sure that's going to be a figure in the future. Going over articulation, the head is able to move up this much, go down that much. He has a good pivot right there and some side to side movement. His arm is able to move up just a tiny bit. Is there a pivot? Is there a butterfly? No. He does have a single jointed elbow though, and a pivot at that joint as well. And your standard wrist hinge going up, down, all the way around. He has a diaphragm joint allowing him to move this far back, this far forward. That joint also has some pivot right there and side to side movement. His leg is able to kick out this far, go out to the side this much, and go back a tiny bit. He has a tiny bit of rotation right there, but not really any. He has a single jointed knee that is also able to rotate, and his foot is able to move this far down, this far up, and he has... Now on to the size comparisons. Here is Anakin next to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. Absolutely love this dynamic. I'm definitely going to have him posed on the shelf like behind or in front of these two. Next up we have Darth Maul and Jar Jar Binks. And that's where it ends for Phantom Menace, sadly. I don't have Padme on me at this moment. She's coming in later this week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, please, Hasbro, please give us some more Phantom Menace figures, please. I want Boss Nass. Now here we have him next to his future selves. We have Anakin from the Clone Wars and Darth Vader from Empire Strikes Back. His two children, which sounds so weird with this picture. We have Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia Organa from A New Hope. Then we have C-3PO and R2-D2. And here we have him next to a few other children in the Star Wars universe. We have Ahsoka Tano, Omega, and Grogu.
You're just a child.
Well, you're just a teenager.
Finally, here he is next to Morbius and Commander Gary. And finally, the Marvel Legends Spider-Hams. Alright, time for my final rating, my overall thoughts. I'm going to give him a final rating of 7.5 out of 10. And I hate to give him this rating. It's just, the figure is kind of bare bone minimum, you know? There's not like a whole lot going for it. It is a really good Anakin Skywalker from the Phantom Menace, but there is only so much you could do with him. I say there's only so much you could do with this character, but even still, Hasbro didn't really meet those expectations. You should have had like a pod racing helmet, a few other accessories perhaps, just something just to fill out this figure. Because as it is, it doesn't really feel like it's worth $24.99. I definitely wouldn't recommend it at this price. I would try and wait and see if it drops any lower. Well, but with that being said, I like the sculpt and the likeness is pretty decent. Yeah, that's really all I can say about this. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Anything you can do that will support the channel will be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.